Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday to you. I hope that it was a good weekend and you are excited to be learning again. We are doing life skills today, and our focus today is on fish. All right, so before we look at fish, let's just recap what Mrs. Lord taught you a few weeks back about the different categories that animals can fit into. So the one category is invertebrates. This is an animal that does not have a backbone. The example would be crabs, jellyfish, snails, squid, and earthworms. And there's a picture of a snail. Then the other category is vertebrates. These are animals that have a spine or backbone. For example, mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. And there is a picture of a human, because that's where we would fit in, right? Everybody feel your spine at the back of your body, okay? That makes us a vertebrate because we have that spine holding our bodies up. We aren't floppy like a jellyfish, like an invertebrate. We have a strong spine that makes our bodies stand erect. Okay. In life skills, over the next few weeks, we will be focusing on vertebrates. So we won't be looking at invertebrates, just vertebrates. And we will be focusing on amphibians, like frogs, as you can see there, mammals, as we just talked about. Those would be your animals like your dogs and cats and humans and such. Birds, reptiles like snakes or lizards, and then fish. And today we will be focusing specifically on fish. So let's watch a short video to find out a little bit more about fish and how they breathe.
Squeaks and I are adopting a pet goldfish. He lives in a fish tank and he's a great swimmer. In fact, this little guy's whole body is really suited to life in the water. He has great fins to help him swim and eyes that can stay open in the water. These special body parts help him to live in his underwater home, so we call them adaptations. There's one adaptation that's really important for our new fish friend to survive in a fish tank or a pond. He needs to be able to breathe underwater. People can't breathe underwater because there's no air. We have to hold our breath or use special equipment like scuba gear to get air. But our goldfish isn't holding his breath, and he didn't bring scuba gear. Instead of breathing air, he actually breathes water. Humans, fish, and all kinds of other animals have to breathe for the same reason. We all need something called oxygen. Even though air might not seem like it's made of anything, it's actually made up of lots of tiny little things called molecules that are way too small for us to see. Oxygen is one of the ingredients in air and is really important because it helps your body make energy. You need oxygen to break down your food, move your muscles, and even just to think with your brain. There's oxygen in the air, but you need it to get into and all around your whole body. So you have special organs called lungs to help you get that oxygen. When you breathe in, you can feel your lungs expand full of air, just like a balloon. Once they're full of air, your lungs pull the oxygen that you need out of the air before you breathe out. That oxygen goes into your blood and travels all throughout your body. There's air all around us, so as long as we can breathe, we can get oxygen. Land animals have all different shapes and sizes of lungs, but animals that live underwater, like fish, need oxygen too. Fish don't have lungs, and there isn't any air around them. Animals like our goldfish need to use another way to get their oxygen. And guess what? Water is full of oxygen, just like the air is. So fish can get their oxygen straight from the water they live in. They just need an adaptation to get the oxygen out of the water. Instead of lungs, most underwater creatures have another special body part that allows them to pull oxygen straight out of the water called their gills. Gills look like little slits on either side of a fish's face. A fish's gills work a lot like our lungs. When a fish pulls in water through its mouth, the water goes back out through its gills. As the water runs through the gills, it goes right past the fish's blood. The oxygen in the water flows into the fish's blood, and now the fish can use the oxygen all over its body. The fish is basically breathing water with gills instead of air with lungs. Other types of animals besides fish use gills too. Crabs, lobsters, snails, and even some bugs use gills to breathe. So even though we both have very different ways of getting it, our goldfish needs oxygen just like we do. Isn't that right, little fish? What do you think we should name our new fish? Ask a grown-up to help you. Leave a comment down below, or you can send us an email to kids@scishow.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time here at the fort.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Let's find out some more information about fish. Fish are cold-blooded animals that live in salt water or fresh water. So if you pass a river or a dam or out at sea, there will be fish in those waters. They breathe through their gills. I hope you spotted that on the video. Those things on the sides of their bodies, they look like little flaps. Those are their gills, and that is what fish breathe through. Fish are covered in scales. They don't have skin like we do or fur like our dogs do. They have scales. And if you've been fishing before and caught a fish, you would have felt that the scales, it feels quite smooth and slimy, quite a different feeling. They are vertebrates that move around using their fins. So they would move their fins to get their direction where they want to go. They don't have arms or legs like us, but fins. Most fish lay eggs. All right, so they would lay fish eggs, not like humans who give birth to live babies. These fish lay eggs. On to today's task. Your job is firstly to turn to page 32 in your life skills book. And then you have to label the parts of the fish. The names for the labels are provided there. You can see them on the screen in the blue or in your books. They are there. And you have to figure out which label matches which arrow on the fish. So think carefully, think back to what it showed you in the video, and good luck. When you are finished, why don't you color your fish in beautifully? You know that fish are not dull creatures. They don't just have gray skin. There are some beautiful fish with beautiful different colors. So let's see what you can create. Good luck, boys and girls. I hope you enjoy this task.